Seconds remaining, third quarter. Punahou 34, Kamehameha nothing. Extra point kick by Horn, up, and it is good. So with 57 seconds remaining, Kelvin Halverson, Punahou 35, Kamehameha 0.
Yeah, this is the point where they would probably be implementing that mercy rule effect. You know, that punahou drive, that 10 plays, 67 yards, 3 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. Definitely one of those the smaller pace drives that they were trying to get and give Kamehameha less time to make a comeback.
So again, to reset, 35-0, Punahou over Kamehameha, 57 seconds remaining. Kelvin Halverson, Matt Sumstein, and myself, Al Morikami, bringing the action this evening, second half. At this point, it appears Punahou will advance to next weekend's game versus the St. Louis Crusaders. In the meantime, checking the return men for Kamehameha. They would go with number 2, Braden Akima, also number 33, Kavika Clemente. Horn to kick off here. So Horn at the 31, lining up. He'll come at an angle, soccer-style kicker. Launches it from the 40. This is deep, 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 deep. And Akima will watch it fall into the end zone. Touchback. Kamehameha will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10.
Now would be the time for that Kamehameha offense to be as explosive as their defense has been since the beginning of the half. Something that they really do need. Hopefully, Christmas Tongiai can get some kind of flame sparked under this Kamehameha offense.
So Tongiai back to pass from his own 20-yard line, standing at his 15. Ooh. Pass fired incomplete into a crowd as he tried to force that one into his intended receiver on the play, Edward Ku Correa.
And even though that was an incomplete pass, because we are in a running clock, it is going to end the quarter here.
And so, end of third quarter with our score. Punahou 35, Kamehameha nothing. This is Aloha Stadium Stars Sports.
Trust is something that is earned. Island Insurance was started nearly 80 years ago for one reason: to help local people protect their families and businesses with affordable insurance they could trust. Island's founding philosophy, always here to help, continues to this day. I've grown to trust Island Insurance as my insurance company. I know Island will be there for me.
Island Roots, Island Values, Island Insurance.
Yeah.
Yep, we're live.
Here at Aloha Stadium. Fourth quarter action, Punahou 35, Kamehameha nothing. 1st and 10, Warriors. Tongiai from the 20 on 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line of Kamehameha. Trying to advance that ball up the field. Can't really do it here. We are, of course, in running clock time, as you heard. Take another look at it here.
Yeah, Tongiai didn't see anything he liked downfield. None of his reads were there, so he tried to tug it and run. But the Punahou defense was like, nah, bro. You're not doing it on us. And so resulted in a 3rd and 9.
Caleb Markworth among those in to make the stop on Tongiai. And Tongiai on the carry once again. And among those in there for Punahou to make the stop this time is Dylan Lundberg.
Yeah, so you have another example of Tongiai's reads not really being open, so he decided to tuck it and run. And Punahou's defense was like, all right, we'll let you have a little bit this time, but it wasn't enough to get the
Odie,
first down.
defense, number 20. 10-yard penalty for an in and a run. Results, first down.
I'll take that back. It is a first down.
And the clock did stop on that because even in a running clock, it will stop for scores, penalties, anything administrative such as an injury or a team timeout.
Matt, as a basic observer of the ball game, some people, when they hear holding defensively, what are they talking about?
Typically, it's against a receiver in that case because we had receivers downfield. Typically, somebody's holding up a receiver, usually at the line of scrimmage. But occasionally, you'll have a play where you might have a trap where the defensive lineman will hold one of the blockers from getting to the hole he's trying to get to. Those are much more difficult to pick up as an official.
Okay. So the pass incomplete, intended for Kamehameha's number 87, Micah Passan, the halfback senior.
Yeah, this was just a play that Marist Liu Fao could see from the beginning. Tongiai looking for a certain receiver. He pointed that out and what's the word? He sniffed it out. We'll just say that.
So we have encroachment on the defense. Unlike college and the pros, the neutral zone
defense,
is not live.
7,
so once you
5-yard
penetrate
penalty.
that area where the football exists,
second
then
down.
the clock will be stopped and the penalty administered.
Okay. Now, once it's put down in a situation, doesn't have to be first down for the clock to wind up and start, right?
The penalty stops the clock. They'll roll it up as soon as they're able to get the officials into position.
Okay. So on second down 5 from the 43-yard line, Tongiai and company trying to advance this ball, trying to at least narrow the gap. Play with a little bit of warrior pride, one might say. As we take another look at it here, Keldon Halverson.
Yep, this was looked like a design QB run, but the big boy, 6 foot 240 defensive lineman legend Matatia sniffed it out, and he wasn't letting Tongiai go anywhere.
9:34 remaining on the clock. 35-0 Punahou over Kamehameha. And the pass downfield incomplete. Warriors trying to cut this 35-0 deficit to a 28-point deficit, try and stop this clock. Among those downfield for Punahou, Mainoa Tufono, linebacker, tight end, 6'3", 230, a senior.
Yeah, if Tongiai would have put a little less oomph on that pass, then they could have had Bush run it in for what looked like could have been a touchdown without any safety help downfield.
So fourth down, and Kamehameha will boot it away off the foot of Keola Downing. And the Buffalo Blue will take over 1st and 10 from around their 30-yard line. You know, Matt Sumstein, when people watch the ball being punted out of bounds, how do you folks figure out just where that ball has gone out of bounds if it's still airborne and crosses the sideline?
Interesting question. If it lands in the white, which is that 2-yard belt that surrounds the field, it's up to the deep officials to basically spot it where they see it bounce. But if it's a long punt out of bounds, then the referee is standing, moves to the position where the ball was punted, and he will draw a line of trajectory and tell the official on the sideline when to stop as where he estimates the ball crossed the line.
So again, teamwork, even among the officials. Moasau at quarterback with the ball for Punahou rather. Number 42, Locke, running back, 6'1", 200, a senior. Gunnar Locke. Gunnarlocke.
Yeah, you've seen Vincent Terrell and Kafusi in the backfield all night, but you see Gunnar Locke, number 42, getting some PT here.
And a pass complete from Muasau to the outside along the Honolulu sideline. Making the grab for Punahou is Matangi Thompson, 6'1", 160, a sophomore. Bringing up 3rd down 5 at the 35-yard line for Muasau and the offensive unit of Punahou. Leading 35-0 in a shutout. 3 men to Muasau's right side along the Honolulu sideline. Muasau back to pass, fires, looks incomplete. Intended for the Buff and Blues, number 13. Trade-in, Buder Nakasone, wide receiver, slot back, 5'9", 150, a junior.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been a good game for a first down, but lost his footing a little bit and was unable to make the catch.
Horn will take up station around his 20-yard line to punt this away for the Buff and Blues. The ball, 4th down 5 at the 35-yard line. Skips along the ground. Horn fields it, fires it away. Ball lands just short of the 30-yard line of Kamehameha. This will roll to the Warrior, call it just inside the 26 to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the for the Warriors at that point. Matt, is there some way that you folks on punt situation like this, is there a certain area that certain people go to cover the play, basically?
Personally, I like having 7 men out there to work, and 5 men you're a little bit thin. But yeah, we do have our keys. We transition from area to area depending on where the ball is and when the ball's kicked.
Okay. Pass incomplete along the Honolulu sideline. Intended for the Warriors. Bush, the running back, gets to play receiver this time. You see right here.
Yeah, Bush, out in the flats, he could have came up with the ball, but you had number 28 Malcolm Leofau, who could have came up with the interception if he wasn't hitting Bush,
Tungiai back to pass on 2nd and 10. Pass is complete here along the Pearl Harbor sideline. As making the grab for the Warriors is Ku Correa, Edward Ku Correa, junior wide receiver. He has the ball pretty close to a first down. He needed 1 more yard in that play.
Yeah, Correa is definitely one of the people who can be very dangerous out in open space. So good job by this Punahou defense getting him pushed out of bounds before he could make a first down.
3 receivers to the right side of Tungiai, 2 to his left. Driving left to right across their screen. Deep pass down the middle. No one really home there for him to hit. Closest person in the area is Braden Akima, senior wide receiver, sometimes running back. This will bring up 4th down 1 from the 35-yard line. So again, 4th down 1 for Tungiai. 2 men to his left side. Now he shifts somebody to the middle. He'll take it himself. Has the first down yardage and a little bit more. And this will give Kamehameha first down yardage. Up around caught their 42-yard line.
Yeah, another design run that this Kamehameha offense seems to like to be running again tonight. Getting that forward progress that they needed for this first down to try and at least score some points before the end of this game.
Isaac Maluina among those in to make the stop on Tungiai of Kamehameha for the Punahou defensive unit. Tungiai on the run, comes back across the middle, tries to create a broken play, but the play was on 0 yardage.
Back judge is going to throw a foul on number 18 of Kamehameha for a blindside block or a block in the back. He came back and forcefully contacted one of the defenders who was trying to make a tackle.
See what Wade Miranda will tell us on this one.
So if it's a blindside block, it'll be 15. If it's a block in the back, it'll be 10. So let's see what we do.
Block in the back.
There we
18.
go.
Offense. 10-yard penalty. Remain second down.
Now, sometimes when the quarterback reverses field, you can sometimes be caught in that position, right?
You can, but like we talked earlier about safety rules, some of those hits that come that you don't see coming have to be done very specifically and safely.
So on second down long, Tongiai fires downfield. And incomplete, intended for the Warriors' number 80. Bahio, the junior wide receiver. Take another look at it here.
Yeah, see Tongiai rolling out, but instead of completing it to one of his receivers, he ends up completing it to Matangi Thompson on the sideline of Punahou. Definitely not an area that he wants to be throwing to.
So second down 20. Ball at the 27-yard line of the Warriors. Tongiai back to pass, looking, throwing. Fires in and out of hands of Akima. My goodness. Talk about frequent flower mileage.
Yeah, you know, Xander Manuel is going to be wanting that one back. He could have had a perfect timing pick right here, hit him right in his hands, but could not make the play and get that pick.
And he had Akima in the area possibly, but that one, as you said, given the coverage, oh boy. So the Warriors will punt this away behind the toe of Downing. And the Buffalo have it up around midfield. 1st and 10.
Just went under a minute, so probably just have one snap, and that might do it.
Clock running. Looking ahead to the St. Louis Punahou game, as apparently it will happen next weekend. Keldon Halverson.
Yeah, this was definitely just a dominating game by Punahou. Kamehameha's defense looked like they wanted to try and make a comeback, but Punahou's offense was like, nah, fam. You know, it's too far gone. We're not going to let you come back, and we're going to play St. Louis, and we're going to try and play for that state title that we are hungry for and that we're trying to get our seniors before they leave.
So Punahou going to line up one more time after the run. They don't really need to do anything here, actually. 10 seconds remaining to the ball into the ball game. One thing, Keldon Halverson, that I noted, is the fact that the Punahou Buff and Blue still are struggling a little bit with their running attack. They seem to be a little spotty with their running game.
Yeah, certainly. That's definitely something that they need to fix if they want to have a chance at winning against St. Louis, because, St. Louis has those lockdown corners up there. And, it's definitely going to be a challenge for Kaleane and this Punahou offense. So definitely going to be a good game to watch.
Matt, you're on the field often enough to see what goes on. What's your take on next week's ball game?
What I think Punahou needs to be careful with is the unsportsmanlike conduct fouls, because they had 3 in this game, and that's a pretty high number. And you don't want to have a guy kicked out of a game for unsportsmanlike fouls, because that could affect their participation in the state tournament once they roll that game over. Because if you're kicked out of one game, you're kicked out of the next. Mm-hmm. So I just say get the kids' heads right and start helping people up and play a fair game.
Mm-hmm. In terms of just basically Keldon Halverson, what would you do? What would be your suggestion? What would be your ideas?
I would just be focusing on, making the best plays possible and make sure that they're clean at the same time, so you don't get that, like Matt was saying, those unsportsmanlike conducts and probably getting kicked out of the game because of that.
So anyway, final score tonight, Punahou 35, Kamehameha nothing for Matt Sumstein, and also Keldon Halverson, Ryan Nagano, myself, Al Morikami, along with, of course, our crew here at Aloha Stadium at the Aloha Stadium Stars administration. I'm Al Morikami. Have a good evening, everybody. Aloha.